Hello everyone, I'm Sarin from Tree Smitten Kittens and welcome back to my channel where we talk about cosplay, crafting, and the online seller life. Today's video is about Etsy Philippines and kung paano ko pinapadala yung mga order sa akin sa Etsy. So, meron na akong video on about shipping from the Philippines to other countries. And spoiler alert, ganun pa rin yung ginagawa ko ngayong 2023. So, yung videos na yon, medyo outdated yung information, but yung method is the same. I still ship using PhilPost. Kung gusto mong magbenta sa Etsy, pinakaunang importante malaman, hindi sila tulad ng Shopee or Lazada na mayroong partner shipping company na magpipick up sa bahay mo. Wala silang shipping partner sa Pilipinas. Sariling sikap magpadala ng mail at hindi mo rin kailangan ng waybill. I usually send shop orders as ordinary mail sa post office, parang sulat kumbaga. So yes, let's start packing some orders and I'll talk about what I'm doing as I go. First off, anong ginagamit ko para magpadala? I use bubble mailers. Gumamit ng plain na mailer dahil yung ibang post office, ayaw nila ng mailer na may design, ibang kulay. So, this one, ito yung common mailer. It's yellow. Size depends on what you're sending. Pag sobrang liit, yung iba tatanggihan nila. Pero this one, it's around 10 centimeters by 13. Yep, if I'm correct. And this is generally accepted. Kung papadala mo ay paper-based prints or stickers, mga artwork, stickers, paper products, pwede na yung envelope. Brown, white, basta hindi siya ganun ka wild or graphic na envelope, tinatanggap nila yon. Tapos, to put the address of it, address ko and address nung customer, I use this thermal printer. So yun, you can get this at Shopee and then yung stickers niya, you also get, this is convenient kasi madali lang mag-print. I copy and paste the address from my Etsy app. Tapos, linalagay ko sa phone and then I print it here. Pwede din namang isulat kamay mo lang doon sa mailer or sa envelope. But since madami-dami yung nakukuha kong order, I just like to use the stickers. So, if gusto mong additional protection for what you're mailing, you can use board, palaman mo sa loob to defend or protect your product, pero nakakadagdag yun sa timbang. It's important to know na yung cost ng shipping fee nakabase sa timbang. Kaya I try not to add additional weight to it if I can. So, yung format ng paglagay ng address doon sa item mo is the format ng same if magpapadala ka ng sulat sa upper left corner, doon yung sender name, sender address, Philippines, lagay mo yung zip code mo. This is like a sample I made with my stickers. And then dito sa center ng envelope, I would put the receiver or customer name, address, country, and zip code. All that info meron na sa Etsy. You just have to copy and paste it. Tapos, isisilid ko na lang yung items sa mailer na may kasamang business card and care card. And now, for the rest of the video, ibabalot ko lang to mga order sa akin. As you can see, yun, kinukuha ko lang yung product and I put it in the bubble mailer, tapos talagyan ko ng care card and I seal it. That's it. Habang ginagawa ko yan, pag-usapan natin yung iba pang mga katanungan at sagot tungkol sa pagpapadala sa pamamagitan ng PhilPost. PhilPost is Philippine Post Office. Yun yung government postal service natin. Ang pinakamurang padala sa PhilPost is 60 pesos for letters or mail na under 20 grams. Yung PhilPost yung pinakamura na international mail service dito sa bansa, kaya I recommend them. May mga private couriers kasi, kaya ng LBC, FedEx, pwede mo naman yung gamitin para magpadala sa ibang bansa. Pero yung minimum nila, I think, is nasa libo na. Like, 2,000 ata sa LBC, mas mahal lalo sa FedEx or DHL para yun sa maliit na item. Tapos kung yung binibenta kong products ay usually $10, $20, $30, mata-turn off yung mga customer kapag yung shipping fee is mas mahal pa dun sa items that I sell. That's why ginagamit ko lang yung PhilPost because they're the cheapest and they're fairly reliable. Now, let's talk kung magkano. Yung price ng padala sa PhilPost, it depends sa timbang ng items tsaka doon sa destination country. So, wala siya sa laki ng envelope, wala siya sa laki ng item, andun siya talaga sa timbang nakasalalay. Kung gusto nyo talaga magpadala at magbenta sa ibang bansa, magandang investment yung bumili kayo ng digital scale para alam mo eksakto yung timbang ng items mo at may estimate mo yung shipping cost. Now, I discourage people from commenting sa comment section na magkano po ba magpadala ng ganito, ganon. Because I get that question a lot. Tapos ang masasabi ko lang dyan, kung hindi ko alam yung eksaktong timbang ng ipapadala nyo, and kung saan country nyo siya ipapadala, I can't answer that. Hindi din naman ako staff ng PhilPost. Now, let's talk about registered mail and ordinary mail. Usually, ang ginagamit ko yung ordinary mail. Ito yung pinakamura na option ni PhilPost. Umaabot siya ng 2 to 6 weeks depende sa season. Wala siyang tracking, tiwala na lang kung darating siya sa customer mo, but 10 years ko na siya ginagamit at okay naman. Pero kung gusto mo ng extra security, mag-upgrade ka to registered mail. Yung registered mail, yun yung may tracking. You can track it sa website ng PhilPost and other tracking websites online. And mga additional siya na more or less 40 pesos. Now, it depends again sa country and weight. Pero ang estimation ko, like when I round off the charts, 40 pesos. Bibigyan ka ng staff ng slip na may barcode at tracking number and then you can use that tracking number to track your parcel online. Usually, ang gamit ko on my shop by default is yung ordinary. But may option na pwede silang magbayad ng extra for registered mail kung gusto nila ng tracking. Importante din na alalahanin na yung registered mail kailangan na signature upon receipt. Pins dapat may taong tatanggap sa bahay nila para pumirma or minsan tinatanong sila or kailangan nila i-claim sa post office nila. Kasi yun nga, registered mail, kailangan may mag-accept. Yung ibang customers talagang prefer nila yung ordinary kasi yun yung tipong iiwan lang sa bahay nila or iwan sa mailbox nila. Pag registered, hinihintay na may tao. And minsan, pag walang tao dun sa bahay nila, nagiging marked as failure yung delivery. So, binabalik din sa akin. So, yun, it's the pros and cons nung ordinary and then nung registered. May estimation, most naman ng mail na pinapadala ko, bihira yung nawawala. Like, I've used ordinary mail for 10 years nga. And yes, may nawawala, but that happens in every store. Even sa Shopee, Lazada, pag nag-ship out ako, yeah, may mga nawawala. Bihira, but it's part of the business. Ang estimation ko is in about 100 mail that I send out, probably one of it will get lost or get damaged sa PhilPost. But parang that's part of the business. You're shipping things, it's bound to happen. Now, let's talk about something a bit more controversial, I guess. Pangit ba magpadala sa PhilPost? So, maraming bad reviews sa PhilPost, pero it's important to remember na karamihan ng bad reviews sa PhilPost ay dahil sa pagtanggap ng mail, hindi sa pagpapadala. Yung sistema kasi ng PhilPost, dahil government post sila, pagdating ng mail sa ibang bansa, hindi na naman PhilPost yung may hawak nun. Ang may hawak na nun is yung post office ng ibang bansa. For example, pag yung mail na pinadala mo is papunta sa US, so yung PhilPost, tatanggapin yung mail, padadala nila sa US. Pero pagdating nun sa US, ang hahawak na nun is USPS, transfer na nila yung job to the US Post Office. So, sa US, USPS, sa UK, papasa na nila yan sa Royal Mail, kung ano yung post office ng bansang destination. So 50%, kalahati ng biyahe ng mail mo, ibang bansa na yung may hawak, hindi na yung PhilPost. Kaya medyo mas maayos na siya. Yung mga padala ko sa US, natatanggap nila as quick as 2 weeks yung mail nila. But on average, I say sa shop ko na 4 weeks para in case may delays. But pag walang delays and the season, hindi siya peak season, people receive it in 2 weeks. Sa totoo lang, may experience ako na nagpadala akong postcards sa mga friends ko sa ibang bansa. Tapos nagpadala din akong postcards sa friends ko dito sa Pilipinas. They were Christmas postcards. Tapos yung mga pinadala ko sa ibang bansa, nauna pa na lang natanggap kaysa dito sa mga friends ko sa Pinas. I used PhilPost. So ayun, mas nauna pa na-receive ng foreigners yung aking Merry Christmas card. Pero yung Merry Christmas card ko dito na I sent from Philippines to Philippines through PhilPost, parang New Year na ata dumating. And then, assuming nabalot ko na, or let's assume nabalot ko na everything I meant to send, then I'll go to my local post office and just go to the counter and hand it to the staff. Sabihin ko lang if ordinary mail or registered mail, and then pay them. Don't forget to ask for your receipt. They're required to issue an official receipt. I always ask for mine. If you did registered mail, don't forget to get your tracking number stub from them. And that's it for this video. I hope I helped you somehow to have an idea kung paano kayo magpadala ng mail or orders nyo to your overseas clients, especially if you're interested in selling on Etsy. I have other resource videos on my channel if gusto nyo mag-start magbenta sa Etsy or even locally or even in conventions and events. So just browse my channel. And again, this is Sarian from Tea Smith and Kittens. I make videos about cosplay, crafting, and online seller life. So if you have any questions, please drop comments below. In the future, I might make a more specific shipping video then. And if you like my content, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting!